Hello and welcome to BKhelpTVchannel news update for April 2008. My name is Julian Donnelly and I'm the spokesman for Bankruptcy Help. Two dreaded words, negative equity, have the power to strike fear into households and economists alike. Homeowners fear being trapped in a home that is worth less than the mortgage they are struggling to pay. The good news is that analysis suggests the numbers prone to negative equity will be far less than in the 1990s on any comparable fall in prices. Bank of England figures, last published in 2005, show that in the late 1980s, more than 40% of all mortgages for house purchase and remortgaging had loan-to-value ratios of more than 90%. In recent years, that number has halved to about 20%. House purchases by first-time buyers, the group that tends to have by far the highest loan-to-value ratios, were also much lower. There were 750,000 in 2006 and 2007 compared to 1.04 million in 1988 and 1989. Having said all of this, with LIBOR tracking at historic highs compared to base rates, banks are demonstrating an unwillingness to lend to each other, let alone the general public. As the old saying goes, good loans are made in bad times. Lenders are increasingly looking deeper into credit histories when making lending decisions, and it is now common practice for mobile phone payments and utility bills to factor into the risk analysis. The Bank of England recently unveiled a scheme whereby they would pump around £50 billion of liquidity into the market, but so far it seems to have had little effect. However, to date, it is too soon to gauge whether this has been successful, as it will take time to filter through to what the talking heads like to call the real economy. So, does the housing market need a correction? Of course it does. Will this mean doom and gloom for all? Unlikely. Some analysts have been predicting another Great Depression, others predicting 600,000 insolvencies this year. I believe that this is unlikely, although what I do know for sure is that things are going to get worse before they get better. A report by the TDX Group has outlined that 1 million Britons have problem debts totalling £25 million, with 60% of this being credit card debt and the remainder being loans. I for one feel this is a very conservative estimate on the numbers of people struggling. However, the report does expect this number to at least double throughout the year. A staggering statistic is that 58% of problem debtors last year tackled their debt problem through refinancing, an option that is unlikely to be available to debtors for the foreseeable future, as banks and finance houses have tightened their belts to weather the storm or the credit crunch. 750,000 sought advice on debt-related problems last year, a figure that in itself is staggering. However, as said, with refinancing becoming less and less of an option, these numbers will see dramatic growth throughout 2008. Thank you for watching. This concludes the BKhelpTVchannel news update for April 2008.